everyone, my name is Ifeoluwa and this is Insights with Ifeoluwa. A few weeks ago, I did a video where I talked about 4 legitimate and fastest routes to traveling to Europe. I promised then that I was going to dive deeper into one of the routes in another video. Now, this is the video. Yay! Today, I'm going to be talking about job seekers visa for Europe. There are a couple of countries in Europe that have a program called a job seekers visa. It is, the idea behind the job seekers visa is for people to be able to get a visa from their own countries to go into or come into a country in Europe to search for a job. So that means they only get the visa that grants them entry into the country for them to be able to search for a job when they get on ground. And then once they get on ground, it's easier for them, to get a job than when they search for a job directly from their own countries. So a couple of countries have this program, and today I'll talk about them. Number 1 is Austria. Before I talk about the procedure for applying for a job seekers visa to go to Austria, I will like to encourage you to like, to comment, to share, and to subscribe to our channel. And not just to subscribe, but to turn on the notification button so that whenever we make a new post or a new upload, you will be notified to watch. Now to the countries. I said number 1 is Austria. I'll read out the procedure, let's say the requirements for job seekers visa application to Austria, and then you can of course take it up from there. Number 1 is have your passport. Of course, you need to travel with a passport, right? And then it's for those who have a university degree, so university graduates with a minimum of a 4-year, from a minimum of a 4-year course, Now you have to present all your certificates, so please get all your certificates ready before applying for this visa. Another thing is, if you are from the sciences, like you did anything in the science, STEM courses, then you would even get extra points. I forgot to mention that this program for Austria is like a point system. So you can get points based on different criteria, different requirements, then you acquire points. So if the more you're able to meet, the more requirements or criteria you're able to meet, the higher the points you will get in the end. And there's a general point, or let's say there's a minimum point that you can have for you to be able to apply for this visa. So let me continue. I've talked about your passport, I've talked about your certificate, and the fact that those who actually have a bachelor's degree or master's degree in any of the STEM subjects will get extra points. Now, another thing is you need to have a minimum of a 5 years work experience, relevant work experience, experience in that profession or field that you're going to be applying for to work when you get to Austria. So you need to have a minimum of 5 years experience. Like 5 or 10, or the more the better, right? And another thing is you need language skills. Of course, you're going to speak when you get to Austria. The language in Austria is German. But then, this is the century where everybody speaks English, right? So you can as well have English. But if you have a language skill in German, it increases your chances of getting a job on time, especially when you get on ground. So according to the rule for the job seekers visa, you actually need to have either list English, German, French, or Spanish. But I advise that you get to, acquire skills in German and of course English. You would write tests. For instance, you would write an international test to prove your proficiency. Another thing is at most 45 years of age. You present your birth certificate. So it's better for those who are at most 45 years of age. And of course, proof of funds, because you need some money to take care of yourself in Austria before you get a job. This visa is usually granted for 6 months. So you will be expected to secure a job in Austria, within 6 months of arrival. So the advice I have for you is, once you are trying to apply for this visa, or before you apply for this visa, start searching for jobs already, like from your country. Search different Austrian sites. There's a government site for searching for jobs. There are also other private sites, popular private sites where you can search for jobs. So you need to begin to search for these jobs before you even apply, so that once you get on ground, you just you hit the ground running, and everything can fall into place on time for you to get a job within 6 months. Because if you do not get a job in 6 months, or within 6 months, you will have to leave the country. Second country I will definitely talk about is Germany. Yeah, I live in Germany. I love Germany, so I'll always talk about Germany. So Germany has a job seekers visa system, or possibility as well, just like the way it works for just like it is for Austria, I mentioned earlier. So you come into Germany and then you search for a job. You start searching, like I said, and German is also the language spoken in Germany. So you need the German language skill to increase your chance of getting a job within the 6 months of the visa. Let me quickly read out the requirements. Of course, you need your passport as usual. You need your birth certificate. And I will advise that a maximum of 45 years old as well should work for Germany. You need your school reports, from your primary all the way to your bachelor's, or your certificates, your transcripts, and everything. Put them together. And if you have vocational qualification, this is really good for Germany, because those who only have vocational qualifications can actually apply for this visa. So if what you have is just some, vocational certificate that is recognized in your own country, then you qualify for this visa as well. If you fall in that category, you're going to need a minimum of a B1 German language proficiency for you to be able to apply for this visa with your vocational traineeship certificate. Then you need to have a minimum of a B1 in German. So take note of that so you can start learning now. Now, the last thing I'll talk about, of course, is your proof of funds. Again, you need to have some money you would use in surviving within the 6 months of arriving in Germany for you to search for a job. You need it's around 1,000 euros and a few cents per month that you need to put together and put in what we call a blocked account. So in the end, like 1,000 plus euros for 6 months, thereabout is what you would need to put in an account in Germany, and then that's what you present to the embassy or at the embassy to be able to get your visa. That's it for Germany. Now I need to mention to you that something new is going to begin in Germany very soon, like from June 1st, like 1st of June. Germany is going to even introduce the more juicier, an interesting, let's say, I don't know what to use in qualifying it, but this is a juicier path that Germany is going to be introducing, or is going to launch out in June. So watch out for that. It's called the opportunity card. So with the opportunity card, it's going to work similar to this job seekers visa, but will be a little bit different in that let's say it will be closer to the Austrian system. It will be a point system where you can also accumulate points, for various criteria, and then that's what will qualify you. Now this one is going to be longer than 6 months. That's the juicy thing about it, right? So longer than 6 months for you to stay in Germany to search for a job. That means you have a longer time to get a job in Germany. This is actually good news, because 6 months could be short, but if you have more than 6 months, let's say 9, 12 months, wow, then your chances of getting a job will shoot up. So watch out for this. Of course, I'll do another video to talk about the opportunity card, so you can start preparing yourself, your documents for this card. The next one I'll talk about is Portugal. Portugal also has a job seekers visa program. For Portugal, it's between 4 to 6 months validity. So you can get this visa for between 4 to 6 months. So that between 4 to 6 months, you're supposed to be able to get a job when you arrive in Portugal. So you need your passport as well. And then you need to be a graduate, provide all your certificates, have a minimum of 5 to 10 years work experience, have your proof of funds as well. So not a lot of money, maybe 5,000, 6,000 euros thereabout. You might be able to get this done for Portugal if you are interested in Portugal. And the last country I'll talk about today, talking about job seekers visa, is, wait for it. Before I talk about this country, I would still like to encourage you, if you haven't registered for our upcoming event, Africa to Europe webinar coming up on February 10th. So at this webinar, we're going to be talking about how medical professionals can relocate to Germany or Austria to practice if they want, or if you are one of them. And also we will be talking about those who would like to volunteer in Germany in the social sector and education sector. If you like to volunteer in Germany for about a year, you should also sign up to attend this webinar where we'll be talking about different ways to go about this for you to come to Germany to volunteer. Now, to talk about my last country for today, which is Sweden. Great, Sweden. Now for Sweden, you can get the job seekers visa for between 3 to 9 months. So the minimum you can get is 3 months, and then the maximum is 9 months. It's just like the other ones, like almost similar. So you apply to the Swedish government to be able to get the residence permit for you to be able to come to Sweden to search for a job. Now, to the requirements, you need, of course, your valid passport. For Sweden, this program is for the ones they call the highly qualified. So you should have a master's degree or a PhD degree. So the minimum will be a master's degree actually. So if you have bachelor's, Sweden wouldn't work for you for a job seekers visa. So you need to have a master's certificate or a PhD certificate for you to apply for the job seekers visa to come to or to go to Sweden. And of course your proof of funds as usual. It's pretty straightforward to apply for. If you have these documents, you apply and then you await the response from the government. Now, bear in mind that all these countries, even though they have, I've called this program job seekers visa, they don't all call it job seekers visa. So you need to know the name for either of the countries. So like call this type of visa. For instance, I think probably Austria calls it black, white, red or something. Some visa for highly qualified people. So please look out for the special names, or you can just type in job seekers visa and then. But the smart people will actually reach out to us at Verify Consult for us to help you out. So we've done this for a couple of people. I helped them make these applications to some of these countries, and it's actually a good thing you may want to consider if you want to work in any of these countries in Europe. Get a job in this country. So reach out to Verify Consult and we can help you put your applications together for the job seekers visa, and you can travel to, we don't stop there, we'll also help you search for jobs when you get on ground in Europe, so that when you get on ground you're able to get a job on time. And also very important to let you know that we teach the language. So if you want to go to Germany or come to Germany, since I stay in Germany and Verify Consult is a German business, we're registered in Germany, then I would say if you want to come to Germany, and I mentioned earlier that you need the German language. It's important. So we teach the German language as well. If you want to come to Germany or go to Austria, we can teach the German language for you, to increase your points and for it to be easier for you to get a job when you get on ground here. And of course, for English, if you need to prepare for the English test, we also prepare people, students or candidates for these tests. Thank you today for listening to me. I'm very certain that you've learned one thing or the other from this video. Now, I'll encourage you to continue to listen to us, like follow us, and watch out for more posts, more uploads, and more insight into Europe. Thank you and see you soon.